Motor City.
You can't have any kind of censorship at all.
To get an earful from both sides of the censorship debate.
Do you think that videos promote promiscuity?
I will say that it does have an influence.
One rapper, one rocker facing one Republican.
We're not saying you can't say this, you can't say that.
Gingivitis, or by antibacterial Efferdent.
We're hitting Detroit, where the rave scene got started.
The only thing that's there is you and the music and the vibe.
Wow! How would you describe a rave to someone that's never been to one?
A big, happy dance party.
Rave is more than music. It's a lifestyle.
I think it's underground because people do drugs there.
Wavelength. 5.6 million people can't be wrong.
We're hanging out at the Majestic Theater in Detroit. This place is now a happening club. You know, when you think of Detroit, you think of the Motown sound. Well, what a lot of people don't know is Detroit is the birthplace of techno, and it's said to be the original home of the rave scene. So, while we rave on, why don't you check out what the party scene in Detroit is all about? What's this?
We're at Club Industry right outside of Detroit, and with my co-host, Jennifer, the diva of the scene, we're gonna take you on a little trip inside to check out the mainstream rave scene here in Detroit.
Come on, kids, I'll be your co-host. We'll see all the disco biscuits inside. Ow!
Fans consider Detroit the birthplace of the techno rave scene, so Wavelength dropped in on the hottest clubs in the city to check out the trends. We found that alcohol is out and unity and dancing are in. The techno rave scene jams on in Detroit.
Hi, I'm Joe Thornton, an underground party promoter here in Detroit. And you know, Detroit still hasn't gotten its props. I mean, we are to techno what Mississippi Delta Blues was to rock and roll, the inventors.
The Industry is a commercial club where the city's most innovative young jocks create happening party mixes by spinning their favorite vinyl.
Majority of the scene is put on by people under 30, under 25. Making like t-shirts, making clothes, making like fat loot, throwing parties. And they say that's illegal.
There's no specific amount of people that an underground party has to have in order to be good. It could be 200 kids in somebody's basement getting off, or it could be 2,000 kids in a warehouse, which is where we are right now. So tonight, we get off.
When you have like techno in clubs, that's the rave scene. But when you got like house and techno parties, I mean, you're not gonna hear about it until the day after, unless you're in the know, you know what I mean?
The Detroit scene isn't really driven by drugs as much as it is by smart drinks. And smart drinks are a healthy alternative to drugs or alcohol.
People start partying at 12 and stay up till 7 in the morning, and we give them the extra energy that they need to keep on going.
London had always followed Chicago.
Right.
So when they did the hip house thing and Detroit was there with the techno thing, that somebody just meshed it together. And a lot of the first early rave records that I heard sound exactly like hip house records with techno on top.
Techno isn't just noise, it is a real art form, it's real music. Some of the techno music can get up to 180 beats per minute, some of it's a little more mellow, but regardless, it's music, and we love it. Well, we're here at the DJ booth with DJ Mike Huckaby in the mix.
A lot of these people are really big in Europe, too. It's like every week they're trekking off to do something in Europe, in Berlin or something like that, and then they come back to Detroit. We're really spoiled because we have a slam of DJs every week. And really, the thing about this scene is that it really unites, it transcends any sort of racial barrier, anything like that, and everyone accepts you. It's a great place to be. You know, you come through a back alley, go through to a dark warehouse, that's where it is. It's not in a club, it's not in a slick space of any kind, it's a really rough, raw place, and the only thing that's there is you, and the music, and the vibe. That's what Detroit's underground scene is about.
I want to hear y'all.
I know we can. I know without a doubt. I know we can. I know without a doubt.
to introduce you to some leaders of the Detroit rave scene. This is DJ T1000 and music producer Meredith, the very lovely Meredith. And sitting next to me is the mastermind behind rave music, Moby. It's so nice to finally meet you. Put it there. So, hey, I like this guy. He's so cute. Tell me what rave is all about.
Rave is sort of a conglomerate of lots of different influences. You've got like psychedelic dance culture, it's got hip-hop influences, you've got elements from just about everything in popular culture that you've had for like the last 75 years distilled into rave culture.
Now, how would you describe a rave to someone that's never been to one?
A big, happy dance party.
Well, you know, if you read a lot in the papers and stuff, the rave scene is sometimes slammed for a lot of designer drug use. What do you have to say about that? Is it as prevalent as the media makes it out to be?
It's not as prevalent. I think that the drug use is just like an interesting angle that the media picks up on.
Now, I read somewhere that you are a devout Christian. Is that
I guess
correct?
so.
Yeah, you guess. And is there any conflict between your religion and the big party scene that you're into?
I'm not sure. I'm still working on that. I think there might be, but I haven't figured it out yet. I mean, it's strange to be involved in this culture, which is, you know, very hedonistic, and, you know, Christianity isn't the most hedonistic religion. So I'm trying to work it out.
What about your parents? What do they think?
They love it.
Yeah, they're into it?
Yeah, my mother's never come out to one because she doesn't stay up that late. Most of the time I go on at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and she's
Now, raves go on forever, don't they? I mean, they last sometimes 1, 2, 3 days?
Couple days, yeah.
Really? How do you stay up for that?
Well, personally, I don't.
You don't? Now, the real thing behind rave is the music.
Yeah.
Tell me about your music and then also about your new EP that you've got going.
Well, rave, for the most part, the music at raves is techno music, which started here in Detroit, which is why this is a great place for the show to be happening. It first happened about, I guess, 6, 7 years ago. And it didn't catch on so much in the United States, but in England and Europe, they really latched onto it. And they started making lots of techno records. And then you started having hugely successful techno records in England and Europe. And then that came back over here, and I sort of got caught up in it.
Now, is the rave scene more than just the music? Is it a whole lifestyle? Is it a whole culture?
It's a whole culture. With its own clothing and scene.
And what's the driving force behind that culture?
I think people's desire to hang out together and be involved in something exciting.
Now, where do you see the future of rave going? Is the trend going to pick up?
Yeah, I think because most techno records and rave records are made with computers and with equipment that almost everybody has at home, that you're going to have more and more music being made. Because like to make a rock and roll record, you need a band and you need a $500,000 studio. To make a techno record, you need a bedroom and a computer.
So,
and ears.
Anybody, not anybody, but if you wanted to try this at home and thought you had some, you could do it.
That's the cool thing about techno, is that anybody can make it.
Not everybody can make it good.
But everybody can't make it.
But hey, you can have fun. Okay, so.
But we make it good.
Of course, the best right here on Wavelength, always. So, all right, we're taking a quick break and we're coming back, and when we do, we'll give you the 411 on smart drinks and smart drugs. So don't go away. This is not a bar that serves alcohol. This is a bar that serves smart drinks, and this is Sean. And Sean, you are a smart drink mixologist.
Mixologist. We don't call them smart drinks anymore.
You don't?
No.
Uh-oh.
We call them psychoactive cocktails.
Psychoactive cocktails. Okay, what is a psychoactive cocktail?
Basically what they are is vitamins and amino acids that get you wired and keep you dancing all night long till the sun comes up.
Now, are there any drugs in this stuff?
These are all natural. We use smart nutrients.
What's a smart nutrient?
Like phenylalanine, which is an amino acid, choline, which is another amino acid that work on short-term memory. Some create adrenaline for the brain.
How do they taste, actually?
They taste just like Tang, or the Tang of the 90s. Would you like to try one?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yes, I would. Now, what is this stuff?
This is the Fast Blast with the phenylalanine, which is found in NutraSweet, but it's almost 200 times more potent.
You know, I've read where a lot of the FDA and a bunch of doctors and scientists have said that this is basically quackery. What do you say?
I say I felt the same way before I started using it, and I feel totally different about it. I'm going to support the bill in front of Congress so they don't make this stuff prescription.
Now, you should drink it in certain doses.
But yeah, they say no more than 3 drinks a day. I take about 9.
Because they really... You are a bad boy. Okay, get on with it. Let me taste this stuff.
What we do is we mix it up in the hand blender for a few seconds. And if we had a nice black light, it would glow.
Oh, it's like the whole vibe here. Now, you know, the smart drink bars are popping up all across America. Why do you think they're so popular?
Because they're a smart alternative to alcohol.
Is this beginning to replace alcohol and drug use for some people, do you think?
Yeah, a lot of performers are using that, too. They don't like doing the drugs. They like doing the natural stuff and staying awake and keep them going and so forth.
Well, this stuff is definitely, it tastes pretty good, actually.
Good
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Well, thanks a lot for the
all right, Jennifer.
lesson in smart drinks, or what is it, psychoactive cocktails. I'm going this way. You just stay there. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
And, you know, I wanted to ask you guys, especially you guys that go out and go to the raves, recently the press has called you guys druggies, and they've really played up the drug use as a big part of the rave scene. What do you guys have to say about that?
Well, I'm in a promotional group called Groove. It's in Detroit, and we put on many parties there. And I seen hardly any, if any, drugs allowed there. If any people come there, when they come there, they want to have fun. And when they come there, they want to dance all night. They want to party. It's an alternative for those people who don't want to go to the parties from school and get drunk, get in fights, do their drugs. They want to come there. They want to have fun, and they just want to dance all night. And that's it's almost like a hippie culture almost of the '90s. That's what I look at it as it. But it's not the drug thing. Instead of going out and smoking the stuff that they did and listening to the music, they just want to go, have fun, be natural, and just get it all out. And that's the way I see it.
So, do you use drugs?
No, I don't.
You don't use drugs?
No.
And
I drink smart drinks.
You drink smart drinks and you rave a lot,
that's
huh?
right.
All right. And do you have something you want to say about that? Here, stand up.
The scene here in Detroit has never been driven by drugs or alcohol as far as the rave scene or the underground techno scene. It's always been a positive outlet for the youthful energy that's present in Detroit. Drugs have no place here. Our drug is the music.
Do you have to be a certain age to go to a rave, or can you go to a rave at any age?
Well, legally, there's a curfew in Detroit, and I think the curfew is midnight for, what, 16 and under? And so legally, no, you can't, but it's open. The idea can be shared by people of all ages. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be in any type of a demographic group just to participate.
Now, is there a difference between techno and rave? Meredith?
Yes, there's a big difference. Rave to me is the commercialized end of techno, and when you hear about all the drugs and stuff like that, that's what's connected with the whole rave scene. In Detroit, there's a party scene, and the kids here like to consider it just the underground, where they go to listen to the music and to have a good time, and it's all about the music here.
You have something you want to say?
Yes, what's the age group that attends your parties? And also, aren't they underground parties, confidential, where people have to know somebody to go to these parties?
Well, it's not that you have to know someone.
Something that the police don't know about, and it's always in a different place, never the same place?
Yeah, see.
Moby?
One of the things that's been keeping rave culture down in the United States is that the police, because they're not very good at dealing with the real problems in society, have decided to crack down on raves. So it's like, it seems it's a lot easier to, you know, close down a warehouse with 1,000 kids having a good time with no alcohol and no fights than to actually go out and try and deal with homelessness or drug abuse or broken families. So raves are an easy target.
So you got to go through different channels to get to these raves. You have
Well, how do you find, I guess the question is, how do you find out about the raves?
It's a closed network in some ways, but like if you hang out at a local record store or just ask people on the street, as long as, yeah, coffee houses, as long as you're genuinely interested and don't have like a little LAPD badge on your thing, you can find out.
I think it's underground because people do drugs there, and when they do find it, the police find it, they raid it and they bust it up, and all they're doing is letting a bunch of people out who are on LSD. That's why those are drugs related. And these smart drinks is just throwing everybody off. That's all it is.
Whoa, wait a second. Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
What do you know?
Hang on, stand up.
I'd really like to know how many raves you've really been to.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I'd really like to know. Come on down.
Come on down here. What's your name?
Name's John Ellis from Chicago.
Okay, John. And your name?
Joe.
Okay, how many raves have you been to?
I've been to 3 in my lifetime, and I went to one of them. I didn't like it. Second one, I got into it, and it got raided, and all I did was let a bunch of crazy nuts people who are on acid out on the streets. That's all the police did.
So,
Yeah, hang on.
Was that in Chicago?
Yeah, it wasn't in Chicago.
Well, Chicago was much different from Detroit.
Yeah.
Just in the scene in Detroit. Detroit is a very unique city. We have our own culture. We're separate from the rest of the country. That's why techno was able to start here. We've got a scene that's very different from anywhere else in the world, and we're world renowned for it. We don't do drugs here. That is not the fuel of our scene. It's not even here. I mean, there are some people, yeah, they're here. I mean, they're on drugs just like, you know, all over the country, there's people here.
Why isn't it publicized?
Hang on. We got to take a quick break. We're coming back to do more of the rave thing here at Wavelength, so please don't go away.
Hip clothing made in Detroit next.
Okay, well, Wavelength, we are back, and we've lost control. We've gotten into the techno groove, so we continue the techno thing. Why don't you check out today's Street Beat?
Detroit is sometimes known as a rough city, but fashion designer Robert Stanzler is making moves to change that. He's taking icons from Detroit's industrial past and fashioning them into a successful line of clothing for the Detroit Motorcycle Company.
Welcome to my studio. Come on inside. The work that we're doing is about giving young people here a sense that we have a valid history, we have a valid identity, and that we can be a fountain of our own design, music, and alternative culture imagery.
By using images from the city's once famous auto industry, Robert Stanzler has found an innovative outlet for Detroit pride.
The collection that we've been working on this year is themed Detroit Muscle, and it's really about muscle cars as the biggest, baddest machines that were ever produced in Detroit, and sort of a high point of the automotive culture. Designs include things like racing stripes, muscle car bright colors, original period patches from automotive companies of the muscle car era that are just like the badges and emblems on the cars. Made in Detroit logo, which was designed almost 2.5 years ago, was really intended as a symbol of pride for Detroit. It's a logo that we authorize musicians and filmmakers and writers and fine artists here in Detroit to place on their work free of charge. The idea is that it'll be a symbol of pride for the community, and maybe we can help forge a link between what Detroit has been and what it can become in the future. I think over the next 10, 15 years, cities like Detroit are going to become a lot more important in terms of being centers for creative activity, because nowadays with Federal Express and fax machines, it really doesn't matter so much where you live as what you're doing, and you're making people aware of it. I want what we're doing here to be a message of empowerment to young people. I think it's important that we start our own businesses, make our own directions, start our own nightclubs, start our own record companies. And I think until we do, we're just going to have to put up with what's offered to us. And really, that's the problem that I hope we can fix in our generation.
I think I need some more of that smart drink. Well, it's happening. True, this Wavelength is over. I want to thank our Detroit Ravers and Moby. We'll see you next time on Wavelength. Bye!
realize how far it was going to go.
Date rape.
While he had me on the ground, he was kicking me and hitting me.
A serious crime made even worse
I trusted him.
because it's with someone you thought you knew.
No, I should not have been drinking.
Okay.
I should not have had a party.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean I should have been raped.
These women aren't victims, they're survivors.
I should not have to stress the fact that I don't want to have sex. If I say no, I mean no.
Wavelength. Just watch it.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. BK Vengeance, the street court performance shoe by British Knights. The only shoe with the mean-looking soles made for tearing it up when you're out on the street. Wavelength is a Stone Stanley production.